Good morning, everybody. I'm here to put another video up. It's been a while since my last posting. I'm going to talk this morning about an article that was in the Daily Telegraph here in Sydney, in New South Wales, an Australian newspaper. And in the last week or so, we've had a race debate here in regards to comments made by a particular high-profile ex-Rugby League star in relation to people of other races. And the comments were made in the privacy of a team group. And there was a particular player that was not, who found those comments offensive, which is fair enough. And he took it upon himself to remove himself from that situation and make public those comments that were had been said in that team environment. Now, we all know that racism is a two-way street. No culture anywhere in the world can claim to be immune from racism. And there are some people out there that just don't get it. But the door swings both ways. There is never one culture that should have the honour of claiming that that culture is the only culture that can be racist. Because there are good and bad in everybody. But that means also, in saying that, from time to time, some of us are going to be offended by the comments that other people make. And we don't want those, sorry about that, and we don't want those comments to continue. So, now, while I'm going to raise this issue, sorry when I'm looking down, I'm just referring to the newspaper article here itself. I was pretty disappointed with the comments that I found in the Daily Telegraph, dated the 16th of June, Wednesday the 16th of June 2010, in the Sydney Daily Telegraph. The article was Joey's Secret Act of Reconciliation on page 100. And it speaks about the particular person involved in Rugby League there, a Rugby League great by the name of Andrew Johns, and how he went down to help out La Perouse's United Rugby League team, coaching one of the teenage sides there at La Perouse. And this particular Rugby League team has a strong indigenous contingent of players in the squad, plus a couple of Anglo-Celtic or white Australian players. Now, the particular reporter, Phil Rothfield, who wrote the article, went down and saw Joey, or Andrew Johns as he is known, go through some drills with the fellas and give them the finer tips on the skills of rugby league. This comes after the comments that Andrew Johns made during the New South Wales State of Origin series, which have blown all over the shop when it comes to the media, and there's been a lot of talk and response into that event. Now, my response is to this article. Now, while the article's fine, how Joey's how Andrew is helping out these juniors, didn't matter what colour of the skin, he was more than happy to be there to help them. They spoke to the coach of this particular side, who is an indigenous coach himself of this Rugby League team. And the coach of the La Perouse United Rugby League team, here we go. What happened with the New South Wales team was obviously very regrettable, said the indigenous coach. He goes on to say, according to this newspaper here, the Daily Telegraph here in Sydney, people get pumped up in rugby league and say things like, go and smash that redheaded bastard, and stuff like that. Redheaded bastard and stuff like that. Go and smash that redheaded bastard and stuff like that. Now, I don't know about you, I imagine many of you out there would be saying, look, it's a silly comment. Cop it on the chin. It means nothing. Well, considering that the race debate that we have going on at the moment here in New South Wales and Queensland in the rugby league states in Australia, to have an Indigenous person who is in a position of influence in coaching junior rugby league, and he only stated that he thought that the comments were very regrettable that Andrew Johns had made in regards to Indigenous and Islanders and Torres Strait Islanders. This simply is not acceptable. Now, I'm a redhead. You know this. I've already spoken about this before, and I'm a proud redhead. But quite frankly, this is absolute rubbish. Now, I know there's going to be people out there in the media, and some of you that are watching this that are probably saying to me, just suck it up. This means nothing. Now, if we are going to have true reconciliation in Australia in terms of Indigenous and non-Indigenous Australians, or with any other race for that matter, or new Australian that comes here, how the hell can we do that when we have an Indigenous adult who coaches a junior rugby league team come out and show his example of people get pumped up in rugby league and say things like, go out and smash that redheaded bastard and stuff like that. Now, that isn't acceptable. It is a racist comment that's been made. The gentleman involved obviously didn't think. And I'm sure if he could have a moment to stop and think, he probably would have chosen better words. But this is the kind of rubbish that we're dealing with. Now, I'm offended by it. And I'll tell you why I'm offended by it. Because this hasn't been brought up in the media. While this article was in there, there's nobody in Australian media that's brought it up. Channel 9, Channel 7, Channel 10, none of the rugby league football shows. And we all know Copper Cab, who is here on YouTube, who has, as we know, is a very passionate person in regards to redheaded people. This is absolute rubbish. It is racist. It is not well thought out. And a full rebuttal should be made by the paper and or this gentleman involved. And all Indigenous Australians out there, the high-profile sports people, and the gentleman involved with the Andrew John saga this week, Tamana Tahu, who also posted a YouTube video response to what happened in the State of Origin camp this week. I challenge all of those Indigenous sports stars in Australia to give the La Perouse Junior Rugby League Club a call and ask why this particular Indigenous coach made such derogatory and racist remarks in the thuggery of redheaded people and the reference to redheaded people. I don't know whether they'll respond to it. I'm sure they'll laugh me off because it seems to be the door only swings one way when it comes to this issue in Australia. The other reason why this might not get any airplay is because it's not a good news story, because it's not sensationalised enough. Now, we know very quickly, because I know you guys are having a busy day, we know the trials and tribulations that redheaded people have gone through, the torment, the bullying, being singled out, and we know the history of redheaded people over the centuries, how they've been persecuted, victimised, the violent attacks, murders, all the silliness that's gone with that over the centuries. Redheaded people have, on many occasions, have lived a life of absolute hell. Now, I hope you can respond to this. I don't know what you guys think. But personally, I'm disgusted by it. I'm fed up with the rubbish. And I hope somebody out there has the courage in the Indigenous community to come out and say, yes, I agree with you. These comments are not right. And we can't go down that path either. So if everybody's fair dinkum about stopping racism, well, it has to stop on all sides of all races. So let's see who's going to take the challenge up now. I look forward to your response.